Take two, but y'all will never know that.
I mean, they would never know if you never said anything either.
Hey, whatever. But I still do want to shout out StreamYard, because StreamYard, you are that girl right now. You are an icon, you are a legend, and you are the moment. Now, come on now. Because we've been having some fun with some new StreamYard updates. So shout out StreamYard. Period. But hello, hi everyone. Hey Danny girl. And welcome to the Cup TV, part of the Currently Unnamed Podcast Network, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay, I am drinking out of my gorgeous San Diego Zoo Rainbow Lion mug. Shout out to the San Diego Zoo. And we're having some beautiful hazelnut vanilla coffee extravaganza, and it's very delicious.
And hello, and hi. I am Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I loves me some tea. Her. I'm just drinking on some water. Shout out to Walmart and Great Value Water because that's what I'm drinking. But always nearby and close to my heart is my cup mug. And we have a panel full of cup mugs. And
the lights are kind of dancing off the cup mug. Da-na-na-na.
And you can get your cup mug or any of our beautiful cup merch at lanagscreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. So there are no excuses. I mean, unless your country is on fire or underwater or war-torn right now.
Correct.
Then there are some excuses. But
100%.
Once everything gets back to normal and everything is okay and everybody is safe, then celebrate by getting some cup merch. Period. Our thoughts and our prayers and our love go out to everybody in those involved countries of fire, water, and war.
That part definitely. But we are back. It is episode 9 of The Anonymous, and Lana, The Anonymous keeps giving. USA Network, you did the damn thing here with this show. Now, please just make the episodes easier to watch. Okay, thank you very much. Be really nice. We're still watching. But it's difficult to find and watch. So,
and don't make it come out on Peacock in a week later.
Right?
Like, that's crazy. Let it come out the next day. Like you do.
Next day would be great.
That would be great.
But anyway, we are going to dive into this episode because there were shenanigans, buffoonery, clownery, silence, boxes, and everything in between. So before we dive in, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things competitive reality TV. And make sure to check out the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, and our Patreon for exclusive content and early access. So now, Lana, swipe us to the side. And let's pop up this beautiful, gorgeous, lovely little thing. Oh, remember Wayne?
Nope. Don't remember.
Me either.
I remember.
Me either. But we start this episode, obviously last episode, no one went home. And we left off this episode with the cliffhanger of who was the Anonymous. We didn't know. And we knew that one of Jack, Bisma, or Lily was going to be eliminated. And the goopery, the gaggery, the goopery. Because when DANI sat up in that dial and said, the player eliminated is Jack? Jack!
The one I thought was winning this game?
Jack?
I was like, oh.
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
not
oh,
Jack,
Lord,
Jack.
Not Jack.
Not
oh,
Jack,
Lord,
Jack.
Oh, Lord,
not Jack. Oh, Lord, not Jack.
Oh, Lord, not Jack.
Oh. But we find out that Victoria got the Anonymous for the second time.
Yep.
She is playing the game.
That she is.
I love to see it.
I'm not mad at.
And not at all mad. I am really sad to see Jack go.
Yeah, I was not prepared for that because like I said,
No.
I really thought Jack was winning this game, so I
Yeah.
was not prepared for him to go. But
No.
he's gone, and he revealed that he was flamingo
Yep.
and football, and everybody was gooped once
The
again because
goopery, the gaggery, and the betrayal.
the betrayal of it all. Because now two people are upset for two different reasons. Lily,
Mm-hmm.
her game has been blown open a little bit because everybody thought she was flamenco
Flamingo.
and she's not flamenco. So now people are like, oh, so my guesses were wrong on you. That's not you. And then Andy was betrayed because he felt,
Mm-hmm.
well, a little bit, but also acknowledges the good gameplay of it all because football was relentless for coming for Andy.
Voted for
And
Andy,
it's
I think, every single time that football could.
I think
Like,
and
every single time.
but would leave and be the best friends with Andy. It was,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, great strategy, great gameplay, and Andy eventually he realized like that was so smart because I would have never thought he was football. Like
Nope.
you would never have made me guess that, but here we are.
Yep. Gooped. Like,
Wow.
I am so sad to see Jack go because Jack has been a big catalyst for this game. He's been really just a great player.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
just a really, really great social strategic game player. And I'm really sad that we're not gonna get, any more of him. I'm sad.
Sad to see him go, but that's the Bricks kid.
It is. It sure is. And Dylan is sad, obviously, because him and Jack were close. He's the one that coined the
Jack
Jack term. Um,
But then it felt like, but I know I was part of the reason that
he
Jack was up there in the first
he
place because
is
I nominated
the
him.
reason. He's the reason that
He
Jack is
nominated
gone.
him.
And as he said, I think at some point later, I didn't shoot the gun, but I definitely loaded in the bullet. And I was like, I
Mm-hmm.
love that analogy.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan has come through with just some gorgeous analogies. Gorgeous analogies. I love it. I love it. I love it. But yeah, before we dive into the next day and the next anonymous chat, we're kind of needing to figure out, all right, who's going to be the next target.
Mm-hmm.
And we see Andy is really thinking that Dylan was the anonymous, taking out Jack here.
Yeah.
So Andy's now going after Dylan. I hate seeing the gays go against each other, but whatever. And then there's a couple of other conversations about potentially Nina being the anonymous and taking out Jack because she did voice some concerns about him. There's some talks about maybe it was Marcel because they had been going at it. Maybe it was Victoria. And we see Christopher talking again to people about Nina being Sandra's daughter. And
Mm-hmm.
this conversation doesn't seem like it was as influential. Because no one directly in that conversation knew who Sandra was.
Right.
Seems like none of these people knew no Survivor and knew who Sandra is.
The people
But
who
still
knew
understand the gravity of it.
Right. Yeah. The people who knew about it are no longer in the game. So it's kind of like, oh. And the fact that he was hearing it by hearsay, like from people who are no longer here to back up what he's saying, I think they're kind of like, I guess. I mean, I can see that being a big deal, but I don't know how. Like, I feel like
why are you bringing this up now?
Right. If you knew this so long ago.
Right. Lana, question for you. Now, if you were in a game with someone that you knew, because we know competitive reality TV pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
If you were in a show like The Anonymous
Mm-hmm.
and fully knew, like, I don't know.
If Nina was in there and fully knew who Nina was.
If Davon Rogers was in The Anonymous,
Mm-hmm.
would you tell her? Or would you tell any players like that in a game like The Anonymous? Would you tell them, yeah, no, I know who you are, I'm a big fan? Or would you keep that information to yourself until one of you was out of the game? Because I'm a little conflicted. I don't know necessarily what I would do. Because it could, because of the nature of the game, you could be targeted very, very easily and completely anonymously by that person because they want to get rid of anybody that might know who they are.
Right. I mean, we've seen it work on both ends of the coin because we saw when Wayne did it to Xavier and Xavier took him out.
Yep.
But we also seen it where Jack knew exactly who Nina was, kept it to himself until he talked to like Xavier, and it kept him up until this week. So I don't know. I think it just depends on how you want to play that. I wouldn't go right up to somebody and be like, I know who you are. I'm a fan, because I don't think I would want them to, because I don't know how they're playing. If they're because they could be playing the game where I don't want nobody to know who I am, and I don't want nobody to spread no information. So I would act like I have no idea who they are. And then if they are somebody who I consider a threat, then I will be able to get them out without being like, obviously it was me. So I don't know if I would say anything. But if that happens, we'll see. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
We have the conversations of, like I said, all the different conversations of people kind of like trying to figure out who the Anonymous was, why they would get rid of Jack, what motivations is. And it seems to have landed on Nina or Marcel or Dylan. So we do all that only for the next day to get up and, DANI is like, good morning, get yourself ready, everybody get ready. And before anything really happens, they already are going down to anonymous mode. And they had to go to anonymous mode right away and start the chat. And once they start the chat, man, it gets spicy. It gets a little, everybody under the sun's name is being thrown out there.
And we got the caveat from DANI as well that only the two people with the most votes will be up or will be at risk for elimination. And that adds an interesting caveat to the way that we saw this conversation go down. Because while this conversation was kind of just as spicy as we've gotten some of the other conversations, it really was kind of like, there was a bit of tameness to it, because it was really like, okay, we need to figure out basically who the house is targeting.
Right.
And like, we saw some people shake up their voting pattern accordingly, specifically Lily, having voted as Robot, having voted for Nina every time she could.
Except once.
Except once, because Nina couldn't be voted for.
Right.
So every time she could vote for Nina, she did.
She did, absolutely.
But then we see people like Lily change up her plans, and basically almost like there were two people very, very clearly that were going to be up for elimination. I am surprised, based on the three main names that were given, that Victoria was not immediately put up for elimination. And that is just a testament. I honestly think, I'm going to call it right now, I think Victoria is winning this season.
I could 100% see her winning. 100% see her winning.
And even with the way that we now know the finale is going to go, and we'll talk about it in a little bit, I really think Victoria stands a phenomenal shot at winning, because she has been able to keep her identity so secret. She's been anonymous twice. Every time that she could potentially be up for elimination, she's being saved. And it's like, she's doing such a phenomenal job. And like, from also being someone who came into the game later, she's really integrated herself very closely and has a very, very strong shield in front of her, where her name is being brought up as a target continually. But no one's targeting her right now. They're targeting Christopher.
Right.
She's playing so well. I'm
She's playing
really
a really
impressed.
good game. A really, really good game. And even with the way she votes, it's kind of like, yeah, nobody is suspecting her, but well, maybe they are a little bit now, but beforehand, nobody was suspecting her. But
yeah. We see speaking of Victoria, we see two interesting voting patterns that happen in this, other than Lily not voting for Nina when she could have. And one is Victoria voting for Christopher again. And I think it's a good idea just to keep her anonymity constant. I think it's a really, really good idea. The other interesting one that I don't think was as successful as we've seen other plays like this go is Dylan votes for himself.
I think it's too late in
Wrong
the game,
move.
and
I think
it's too late. And with this way, the way it's set up with the top two vote getters, I would not add myself to that vote list. Like, absolutely
not at all. Because I think the way that Xavier did it, I think was fine, but didn't end up ultimately working out for him. The way Andy did it, I think was genius.
Yes.
I'm going to say this also. I think there's three people. I'm going to say four. I think I've narrowed it down to, I think there's four people that I think, honestly, I could see winning this season at this point.
Okay.
I think it's either going to be Victoria, Andy, Nina, or Lily.
Those would be the four, I think.
Like, storyline and production-wise, we're also getting a lot from them. That's just the energy, because I don't think they're going to let Marcel get to the finals now that we know what the finale format is. They're eventually going to take out Christopher. Christopher's going to go at some point before the finale. And I could see those four making it to the finale plus Dylan. If he doesn't get eliminated this next episode.
Who knows, honey?
Who knows? But we do end up with the top two vote getters being Dylan and Christopher. There was one other vote thrown on someone.
Lily.
Oh, Chris voted for Lily. Whatever. And at this point, everyone knows that he's lipstick. So whatever.
Everybody knows.
But yes, so Dylan and Chris are up for elimination. And this is where we get, honestly, a kind of iconic moment from our resident celebrity here. Dylan comes out of anonymous mode in silent mode. And he is just sitting around. He is not doing anything, but he is giving expression. He is giving drama. He is giving...
And everybody don't understand that conversation that him and Nina had. I understood everything they said.
I understood everything they said. I loved it.
I was like, he was just like,
you communicated every single thing that you needed to in that conversation.
And I was like, understood.
And the way Nina was like, I got you.
I got you. I was
loved
like,
it. I loved it so much. much.
That
I
was a
loved
lot of
it.
black conversation happening right there. I'm just gonna say that was
Yeah.
a lot of black happening, and I was like, I got it. I knew what you said.
With a touch of gay nonverbal communication, which does come from black culture.
I'm about to say
So,
same thing.
yes, very much. But yeah, oh, so good. I
It
loved
was so
it.
good. It was so
My
good.
two faves this season. Like,
It was good. But
I love
everybody
them.
was like, and here's the thing that made that work because he said nothing, and everybody was concerned and talking about him. He was the topic of everybody's conversation. What's
Yep.
Dylan doing? Why is he not saying anything? What is he supposed to mean? Da 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 da. And I was like, so who has main character energy right now is this person not saying a thing because y'all all worried about why he not talking. And it was interesting to watch that. But then we go right into the face off after that. And here is
Yes.
another twist that Danny decided to throw into it. Because
Another good twist.
as we know, Dylan and Christopher are up for elimination. But Danny was like, but they're not playing the face off because it'd be quite boring with two people playing a face off. That's boring.
It's like how would because I was like, so are they gonna play against each other and then the person that wins swaps? Like, are we gonna do the swap again like we had with Dylan and Jack? But
Yeah, but no, that's not what happened. Danny says all the safe players, you're relatively safe right now, but you will be playing in the face off. And we have 4 people who will be safe
yeah,
and 2 people who will not. And it was like, oh, oh,
the game has changed.
the game has changed. And so Andy went first, picked his box. Nina goes after, takes Andy's box. Bisma goes next, takes Nina's box.
Right.
Nina picks a new box. Marcel picks a new box. Lily picks a new box. And so then we reveal our boxes and who's safe and who's not. Bisma, after stealing Nina's box, is at risk. And
That
Marcel,
was Andy's box.
that was Andy's box, is now at risk. And Marcel is also at risk.
I felt so bad for him because he has been slaying the face-offs.
Yeah.
And I think for that reason and that reason alone, he is going to be the next target in the house as soon as we get the elimination.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really, now that everybody knows, so, and we also find out in this face-off from DANI that this is the last face-off before the finale,
Yep.
where the winner will be chosen by a face-off.
Mm-hmm.
I love this. I think it's such a fun twist.
Mm-hmm.
I think I hope that they've really been paying attention to people lying and people deceiving, because they're going to have to do it to win $100,000.
Absolutely.
And I like this more than it being a test, honestly. I wonder if there's going to be some element of it being the test, and then maybe like the people that get it the most correct are the ones that actually do the face off or something. Or vice versa. We do the test or we do the face off, and there's like, if it's like 5 people, I don't know. We do the face off and 3 people then get like a finalist box per se.
Something
and then
like
they
that.
take a final test to decide who wins or something along those lines.
I mean, they take the test, but the test only counts if there's like, I don't know. It could be. I don't know. I don't know how they would do it. Never mind.
Oh, no. Here's how they do it. They do the test first. It would have to be like 5 or 6 people for there to be enough. You do the test first. Then don't reveal the result of the test. Then you go to the face-off. Compete in the face-off. 3 people get like finalist boxes. And then the person with the best test result wins.
Okay.
That's how I would like to see it.
That'd be cute.
Because I like incorporating both of those elements that have been very, very integral to the season. I would honestly like to see both of those. But we also get another iconic monologue from Dylan. Because after the game, he comes out of silent mode and he says, "Today, I didn't say anything at all because I wanted to see how the house would feel without my voice. I was bored out of my mind." And then proceeds to say, "Surface level conversations, dusty, crusty. And all I'm going to say is if you become the anonymous and vote me out, good luck. Because I feel like it will be the longest days of your life."
I laughed and I was like, this could either be really great for him
or abysmal.
Bad for him. And I can't wait to see what happens.
I just I need Traders. I need you to pick up Dylan. Dancing with the Stars. I need you to pick up Dylan. Amazing Race. I need you to pick up the call for Dylan and a friend of his or somebody, some family member. I don't care who it is as long as Dylan is there. Who else do I want? I want him on everything. He is so charismatic and energetic and fun, and he knows that he's on TV. And there is something so phenomenal about seeing an outspoken, very boisterous Black gay man as the main character of a new reality program. There is something so uplifting and so exciting about that. And I just love Dylan so much. And I hope he doesn't get eliminated at the start of the next episode. Because we do find out, we go to the dial. We find out that Christopher and Marcel are safe. So we are either losing Dylan or Bisma at the start of next episode. And I'm sad either way. And we also know that the anonymous is either Andy or Nina. And based on who goes home, I'm pretty sure we're going to know before they tell us who the anonymous is. Because I'm pretty sure that if Nina is the anonymous, Bisma's going home. And if Andy is the anonymous, Dylan is going home. Now, do you see a universe where Nina takes out Dylan to keep her anonymity? Because I could also see that.
I don't know.
I don't know. A lot of me says no. But there is a little bit of me that is like,
I think she might
be a bad game move.
It wouldn't, because he was the only one running around saying that Nina was fire. So that wouldn't make sense too. And nobody would think it was her.
But also, part of me is like, of the 4 people available, I feel like Nina would want to take out Christopher.
Well, no, because she's been in the alliance with Christopher since the beginning.
But she's been wary about Christopher. But
she doesn't know he is wary of her. Like, she's wary of him. And I think she feels like she could, she feels like Jack felt. She can control Christopher a lot better than maybe a Dylan or Bisma. So I don't know. I think it will be a smart move for her to take out Dylan because nobody would expect it's her. They would definitely think it was somebody else. Yeah.
But we'll see. Either way, I'm sad. I like Bisma and I really like Dylan. So, I'm sad either way that we get next episode. But I am excited for next episode because this season just keeps giving. I love it. Love it. That's where we're going to leave off today. It's a cute little kind of short episode, but thank you so much for joining us for this recap of The Anonymous episode 9. Please let us know all your thoughts down in the comments below. Who are you rooting for to win? Who do you think is going to go home between Dylan and Bisma? Who do you think is the anonymous? All that lovely fun stuff. So Make sure to subscribe, like, and share on the way out. Check the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, our Patreon, our social media, and where you can get your merch, including but not limited to cup mug. And with all that being said, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. So, cheers.
Cheers.